Welcome to Horse of the West, this week presenting the National Reining Breeders' Classic. Reining's best are in the Big Pen here in Katy.
It's an opportunity to show every single thing that a horse can do.
5 former NRBC champions are here, $10 million plus riders, and 2 Triple Crown champions, all chasing a purse of nearly $500,000 in the Level 4 alone.
You know, this place is amazing to show to. It's so loud.
But there are more than a dozen finalists here looking for their first NRBC Level 4 Open Championship.
That's my goal one day, to become one of the big guys there.
We'll have the finals action and reaction just ahead.
Coming up on Your Horse Inside and Out, sponsored by Behringer Ingelheim, we're going to talk about ring bone in the horse's pastern.
Then we'll head to the training pen with 2021 NRBC double finalist Trevor. That's all coming up in this episode of Horse of the West. Welcome to the Great Southwest Equestrian Center in Katy, Texas, home of the National Reining Breeders' Classic, which prides itself on a wide variety of classes for every horse and rider, and lots of goodies to go with them.
A few minutes ago, I was in the awards room, and this girl comes in and she says, I don't know if I got anything, but I think I won a 4th in the novice class. And I said, yes, you did. We give presents. And it was so exciting to be able to see somebody that was so excited about what they were doing and that they got something. So that's kind of the theme here. We want everybody to enjoy the experience and be a part of the NRBC family.
In its 24th year, the NRBC is offering a total purse of nearly $1.2 million with $500,000 added. $75,000 goes to the winner of this Level 4 final, $50,000 to the reserve champion. But every horse who's qualified in Level 4 goes home with a check for at least $5,000. The big show pen in Katy lets horses go all out, so the scores here tend to be higher.
The big circles, the long stops and whatever. If you don't have a horse that can go up into overdrive in the finals, then you probably shouldn't bring it here.
2020 NRBC champions America's Next Top Gun and NRHA $2 million rider Casey Deary are here to defend their title. Casey calls this the most talented horse he has ever ridden. NRHA $2 million rider Jason Vanlandingham and a Vintage Smoke are one of only 3 NRHA Triple Crown winners in reining history. Here at the NRBC, they'll try to become the first Triple Crown winners ever to repeat in one of the Triple Crown events, the other 2 being the NRHA Futurity and Derby. Jason is the only rider with 2 Triple Crowns and says he is happy to share his secret.
Listen, it's always the horse. I have no talent compared to most of the guys that are here, and I just feel blessed to be able to have the talented horses that we have to be able to go compete at this level.
$6 million rider Andrea Fapani has won here 4 times, but says nothing you have done in the past guarantees you anything in the future.
Even when you do a great run, it doesn't mean that the next one's going to be good. It's every time you go in, it's a new one.
You just got to appreciate it when it's great.
You got to really appreciate it, enjoy the moment.
Hall of Fame member Sean Flarida of Springfield, Ohio, is the NRHA's highest-earning rider of all time. He's a 4-time NRBC champion on an NRBC legacy horse. This is Gainer Revenberg's Shine Colt Shine by 2011 NRBC champion Shine Chick Shine, who became a $1 million sire at the NRHA Futurity in 2020. Shine Colt Shine was the high seller at the 2018 NRHA Markel Prospect Sale and reserve champion at the 2019 NRHA Futurity. Sean and the 5-year-old stallion get things rolling with a score of 222 from the judges. Cole Price of Pilot Point, Texas is riding the 6-year-old stallion Gonna Stop by NRHA $4 million sire Gonna Trasha. Cole and Gonna Stop were Level 3 champions at the NRHA Derby last year, and they take the lead here in Katy with a 224.
That's how you like to do it, right?
Hell yeah. This horse, he's just dependable when you need him. And I feel like this year he's grown up, and I guess probably just getting to know him that much more, but I had no doubt he was going to be there. So he's just a good horse.
Bell Ranch, owned by George and Carol Bell, has earned a bittersweet distinction in this year's NRBC Level 4 final. The cherished mare they lost last year, C Miss Hollywood, daughter of NRHA Hall of Fame mare C Miss Blair, is one of only 2 dams with a pair of offspring qualified. Both are by NRHA $1 million sire Hollywood's Tinseltown, and both are ridden by George's son Brian, an NRHA $1 million rider. Brian earns a 222 on the first one, named C Mr. Stop.
So it's kind of a cool thing for our little breeding operation to have a mare do all that. My family's been doing it forever. They did it before I was even interested in it, and My dad loves to breed good horses and loves for me to ride them.
Andrea Fapani of Scottsdale, Arizona, and Tim Anderson's Gun Done It by NRHA $12 million sire Gunner won the first round of the prelims with a 226. So Andrea rides in knowing he has a shot at the lead, but as he says, there are no guarantees in this sport. They earn a 223.
I missed him just a little bit in that first stop, and then from then on, I think that myself maybe I wasn't as focused, or I was still thinking about that first stop that I could have done a little bit better.
Trevor Dare of Purcell, Oklahoma, and Jersey's Baby Driver have qualified twice now for the NRBC Level 4 final and for the NRHA Derby Level 4 once. Trevor earned a 223.5 last year here. He marks the very same score this year on the 5-year-old stallion they call Hercules because he is just so strong. They slide into second by half a point.
This horse is owned by Janice Laney, and he is by Yellow Jersey out of Winder Up Chick. She bought him as a yearling at the Legacy sale, and we showed him last year. We had some tough luck at the Futurity, and I've always been real attached to this horse and had high hopes for him.
Cole Price and Gonna Stop are still hanging on to the lead with a 224. That lead is anything but safe with the lineup still ahead, including last year's champs Casey Deary and America's Next Top Gun, and 2019 co-champions Jason Vanlandingham and Vintage Smoke. Also ahead, Dr. Joe Carter on Ringbone in Your Horse Inside and Out, sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim. And a training secret from NRHA Pro Trevor Dare. Don't write off.
You're watching Horse of the West on RFD TV.
Welcome back to Horse of the West and the National Reining Breeders' Classic from Katy, Texas. Cole Price and Gonna Stop are in the lead with a score of 224. If they hold on, it would be a first NRBC Level 4 victory for Cole. And the same goes for our next rider, Gunny Matheson of Tioga, Texas. Both young men are looking for their first NRHA majors. Gunny's on board She's Ready Online, a 5-year-old mare by Shine Online, owned by the late Mary Jansma. Their highest score ever was a 221.5 in the prelims here, but in the final, the mare steps up and thrills Gunny and the crowd with a 225 to take the lead.
She felt great. She's not the most athletic spinner to the left, so I knew all I had to do was stay patient. And once I didn't make a mistake turning left, I knew we were going to be pretty good because she can stop. She can stop better than most of them, and she's got no quit in her.
Gunny says he could feel the crowd rooting for him as the run built.
That's the funnest part. You feel it as the run builds. The crowd was still going crazy at the end. Means I didn't screw anything up before we got there.
It's not always easy to follow a big emotional run like that, but Casey Deary's horse doesn't seem to mind. This is the 2020 NRBC Open champion, America's Next Top Gun by NRHA $3 million sire, Walla Walla Whiz by America's Next Gun Model. This is the other mare with 2 sons in the Level 4 final. She's also the mare that took Casey to his first NRHA Futurity victory.
I think she's over $500,000 before we got here, so it was awesome to watch Gunny. I mean, he had an amazing run there, and that always puts a little pressure on you to follow something that incredible. So I was sure happy for him, but obviously I'm glad my horse fired.
Gunny Matheson's lead was sweet but short-lived as the judges award Casey and America's Next Top Gun a score of 226.
I think this is probably the most talented one that I've had. There's not a weak spot on him. He's intense, which makes it a lot of fun. When the crowd gets behind him, he kind of brightens up even more.
On his second finals horse, Cole Price earns a 222.5. This is the 4-year-old stallion Trendsetter by NRHA $2 million sire Spook's Got a Whiz, owned by Cole Price and Thomas Moffitt. Cole will finish up with 2 horses in the top 10 of the NRBC Level 4 Open and a paycheck of $36,500. The judges chalk up another 222.5 for Franco Bertolani of Aubrey, Texas, and Gangsta 66 by Inferno 66. This horse is owned by Julio Mora Hernandez. Franco will tie Cole for 9th and take home checks totaling more than $20,000. Franco is a native of Brazil, as is Gabriel Borges of Scottsdale, Arizona.
My family doesn't do horses, but I like horses since I born. I just been involved in rodeos, and then one day a friend of mine showed me a video of reining horse, and I said, "Wow, I want to do that."
Gabriel earns a 222 on Lena's Shining Gun by NRHA $4 million sire Gunner's Special Night, owned by Jackie Reddish, who usually rides him in the non-pro.
And she came and offered me, say, you would like to show Olaf? His bar name is Olaf. I said, oh my God, yes. Thank you so much. And then he's so fun. He's like a toy. Was so fun. Yeah.
Gabriel Borges and Jackie Reddish will take home $12,500 from the final. Who's left to take on defending champions Casey Deary and America's Next Top Gun? They are holding down first with a 2:26. Jason Vanlandingham is warming up on Triple Crown winner of Vintage Smoke. Only the third Triple Crown winners ever. Can they be the first to win one of those Triple Crown events 2 times? The conclusion of the NRBC Open Championship coming up, and later a training secret from finalist Trevor Dare.
Your Horse Inside and Out with Dr. Joe Carter. Sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim.
Ring bone is a common lameness problem we see in performance horses, real common as horses begin to get older, start to get some arthritic changes. You'll start to see this swelling right here in their pastern, this bulging area, and that is what old horsemen call ring bone. It's actually osteoarthritis of the pastern joint. And you can see here with this big bulge, compared to what a pastern might normally look like, where it's nice and flat. We'll get her to stand on this other leg right here, and you can see where here it's a nice flat appearance, compared to what she had, over here in this leg where it's got this bulge. And so ring bone, they start to accumulate a lot of extra calcium. You can see on this x-ray all the calcium formation, and basically what the body's trying to do is fuse that joint and stop the motion. When you stop the motion, the pain goes away. Some horses, like this horse, can fuse on their own. We were real successful in getting this horse to fuse on its own and then go ahead and have a very successful show career. She's currently still showing and doing quite well. And sometimes you have to go in there surgically and put pins and plates into the pastern joint to surgically fuse the joint, which is something that we do quite frequently as well. So horses begin to develop some arthritis in these low motion joints like the pastern. This can lead to this condition that old horsemen have always called ring bone, but not really known what that was about. But it's actually an arthritic condition of horses. And if you have any questions about ring bone or arthritis management in your horse, contact your local veterinarian. And I'm Dr. Joe Carter with Your Horse Inside and Out.
Your Horse Inside and Out is sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim. Before making any decisions about your horse's health, be sure to contact your veterinarian. You're watching Horse of the West on RFD TV.
Welcome back to Horse of the West. At the NRHA Futurity last December, Casey Deary of Weatherford, Texas, was wearing a neck brace after an incident involving a horse walker. The horse was okay, but Casey was not.
So how much does this hurt you when you stop?
Just a lot.
It was a close call, but Casey's back in the groove and leading here in the National Reining Breeders' Classic Open Championship on the 5-year-old stallion America's Next Gun model with a score of 226. Now here's his good friend Jason Vanlandingham of Whitesboro, Texas, one of only 3 reiners ever to win the NRHA Futurity, NRHA Derby, and the NRBC on the same horse. When Jason Vanlandingham completed his first Triple Crown with a win here in 2016 on the stallion Not Rough at All, he knew he was riding a once-in-a-lifetime horse. But then in 2019, a Vintage Smoke made him the first rider ever to win a second Triple Crown.
He's every bit as special if, I'm on him now, so he might even be more special for this moment. But he's been life-changing to us, to Diane that owns him, absolutely life-changing in every way. And it is truly a blessing to be able to throw a leg over that horse every day.
If Jason can get a repeat victory here in Katy, he and a Vintage Smoke by NRHA $2 million sire, a sparkling vintage out of Lady Smoke Peppy, will make reigning history. Owner Diane Mesmer, who bought this horse sight unseen as a yearling, says, no pressure.
What's meant to be will be, and you just leave it in his hands.
A 226 would force Casey Deary into a tie. But this 6-year-old stallion demonstrates he is truly one of the greatest ever, laying down another beautiful pattern in his 3rd NRBC, earning the lead with a couple of points to spare. The word from the judges, a 228.5. Jason gives props to NRHA $4 million rider Craig Smersall for helping him smooth out some problems they had in the prelims.
He got away from me a little on the rundowns, and I said, Craig, what's the master horseman do? And he told me what I needed to do to get it done for another run. If it wasn't for this guy,
I didn't think it would work.
Yeah. That guy, that's a brother right there.
Brian Bell will take a shot at Jason's lead on his second horse, Mr. Royal Hollywood, another 6-year-old stallion by Hollywood's Tinseltown out of the Bell family's late mare, Miss C. Hollywood. Brian proves this Bell Ranch bred horse does have overdrive, earning a 226.5 for owners George and Carol Bell.
They get emotional. They watch them from the time they're little bitty babies and, you know, on. And sometimes if you tell them one's not good, it breaks their heart. But when one is good and it makes it all the way to the thing, you know, everybody gets emotional about it.
But toward the bottom of the draw is a wild card, the horse and rider who earned a record high score for the AQHA World Show and the 2020 Reigning World Championship, a 231. This is Dany Tremblay of Marietta, Oklahoma, riding Tinker with Dreams by Tinker with Guns. Dany has been in the hunt for his first NRHA major and has come close, but tonight just could be his night.
It's amazing. I love NRBC. I always loved it. I won the level 3 a couple times. Making the final, it's always great here. It's the best of the best horses. And showing tonight, it's like another dream come true again.
Tinker with Dreams out of the high-performing mare This Chick's Done Dreamin' earns a 228.5 to tie Jason Vanlandingham. Instead of running it off, the two decide they will share the title of 2021 NRBC Open Champion.
That moment right here, right now, that's why I work hard every day. It don't matter how many hours we don't sleep or whatever. We work hard. I don't know, it's a crazy life, but right now I enjoy it big time.
Well, I always say he's a little chunk of iron, and this evening he was. That's just what he was. He's that way every single time, knock on wood. And so with that, we're thankful.
And for Jason Vanlandingham and a Vintage Smoke, history as the first Triple Crown winners to win one of those Triple Crown events a second time. And as he did in 2019 when he was NRBC co-champion with Nathan Piper, Jason gets to share a first with Dany Tremblay.
Now what Danny's going to find out is that whenever he doesn't win, it's going to be disappointing. So.
When we come back, we'll head to the training pen with NRHA professional Trevor Dare for a simple circling exercise. Be right back.
You're watching Horse of the West on RFD TV.
Welcome back to Horse of the West. Now from the Training Secrets Vault, here's Trevor Dare.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a really simple exercise that a lot of us probably do, but I'm going to explain it a little bit more into detail. It's an exercise circling that I use for myself on my young horses, and then I also incorporate it into when I'm giving my non-pros some lessons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out on my big circle, and I'm going to lope with forward motion. I'm not really worried about going slow, and I'm not really worried about running a fast circle. And what I'm going to do on that circle is I'm going to listen to my horse, and if I feel like he gets disconnected from his circle, or if he gets distracted, or if he's leaning, I'm going to steer him into a small, slow-sized circle. I'm not going to oversteer. I'm not going to understeer. I'm just going to redirect him into the same size circle I would if I was showing for a small slow. So this, for myself, on my horses, it helps me keep their brains warmed up and keeps them focused on where we're going and our task at hand. And for my non-pros, it gives them a chance to practice their steering, practice handling their horses, and have confidence that they can control their horses for when they walk through the gate in the show pen. So I'm going to start off here. I'm going to take my lead departure, and like I said, I'm just going to lope with forward motion. It's not going to be too slow or too fast. So I have my forward motion. If I feel like he's not really sure where to go, I'm just going to steer into that small, slow circle. I'm going to keep the same speed though. You can see he softens and he guides where I want to go. He feels good on this small circle, so I'm going to put him right back onto his bigger circle. I like to ride with forward motion because I think that incorporates into when we're showing and we're driving forward on that big circle. You can kind of keep their attention and keep them focused on you. He feels good. I'm going to go right back out to the big circle. I I'll do these small circles at any point in this big circle. It doesn't have to be at the top of the circle or in the middle of the pen. It's just wherever I feel I need to get his attention back. Now I'm going to leave my hand down and continue to ride with both feet, and I'm going to see if he just stays connected to that circle for the whole way around. When he stays connected like that, well, I'm going to let him stop and take a break. For myself, I have non-pros that are able to ride every single day, and I also have non-pros that live a little ways away and they don't get to ride near as often. If I myself am going to show a horse, I want to have confidence in the feel of my horse, how it feels when I steer it, how much to steer, how little to steer. I don't want to walk through the gate thinking that I need to be very careful on every maneuver. So this exercise helps me a lot with my non-pros because it gives them 4 or 5 different opportunities in one big circle to get to steer their horse, handle their horse. Maybe they slow it down when they steer it, or maybe they figure out how much leg pressure to use around the circle. But it helps me instill more confidence for my non-pros that when they show, they don't have so much nerves, or they're not worried about any part of it.
Be watching next time for a behind-the-scenes visit with NRCHA professionals Sarah and Chris Dawson and Baby Hadley, and then we'll switch to barrel action from the BBR World Finals in Oklahoma City. You can always find more Horse of the West content on our YouTube channel, and be sure to subscribe. I'm Jennifer Reynolds. We'll see you next time on Horse of the West.